So the person that you're in love with voted for Donald Trump. Sounds like there's about to be a breakup. Cue my music. Welcome back to the show. Woo! It's getting hotter and hotter with every single episode, and I see it. I see it in you guys, man. Thank y'all for showing the love and supporting us, man. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe, the like button, and the alert button, all that stuff. But I don't want to waste any time. I don't want. This one is a big one because there are a few subject matters when it comes to your relationship that can destroy or lift your relationship, lift your marriage. They can. When you're talking about religion, it can get real ugly real fast, even if you believe in the same religion, but you got some unorthodox version of it. Things get bad fast, okay? Another one is going to be the one that we talk about today. We're going to talk about politics.
We don't do that here.
Yes. So if you're at a table with friends and somebody brings up politics, who they voted for, didn't vote for, or why, it will shatter the table. All of a sudden, appetites are lost. All of a sudden, the guy that was going to pay the bill is not paying the bill anymore. He's mad and upset because of politics. It will shake things up. So people are very careful when they talk about politics nowadays in 2025. It wasn't always that way. We'll dive a little bit into that too. What brought this on? But you are in a relationship now and you love this person, or maybe you like this person, or maybe you're just seeking out this person, but this person voted for Donald Trump.
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
Or Kamala Harris.
You need to get to go. I need to be able to get where you need to go.
Or whatever version of something, whatever. And now you don't know what to do about that because you have different beliefs. Should you build on that? Now, let me say this here. Politics in the way that it is today should be a big issue. It really should be. It is, and it should be. Okay. Now, it wasn't that way back when I was coming up, early in the 40s and 50s when I was born. So back then, you always had a streamline. So if you're, say you look like me, you're black, right? You are black and extremely handsome like me. Back then, all black people, for the most part, majority of black people, voted Democrat. You know, we didn't know a whole lot. You know, we were just going by what was said and all that. No research really done. So everybody kind of voted Democrat. But there was that one guy that came through the neighborhood and he didn't vote Democrat, even though he was black. And people gave him a hard time. This guy was usually, a little more educated, a little more uppity, and he seemed to have an extra sauce to himself. And when he left or when he was there, people always joked on him, man, you are crazy, you coon, you this, you that, you a nerd, ha ha, and all that stuff. Fast forward, 50, 60 years later, and it seems like that guy's an actual genius, a prophet, even because of what he knew, all right? Now, black people vote Democrat still to a high degree, but they also vote, Republican, and it's not as big of an issue as it used to be. Okay, now, with that being said, you have two political parties primarily that you're looking at in the United States. You got your Democrat Party and your Republican Party. Now, if you are in a relationship, let's start there. If you're in a relationship and you know somebody's voting a particular way, then you have to pay a lot of attention to it because that says a lot about that person as well. What do you mean? What do you mean, King? Let's talk a little bit more about it, okay? Now, I don't want to get too deep into the politics. It's not our thing. It's not our space. But I want to go into it. I want you to understand what it means to the relationship, okay? So if I am a man and I'm going to date a woman who voted for, let's say, a Kamala Harris, then I have to take some things into account. Things like what? Things like, hey, if we were fooling around, messing around, next thing you know, I skeet up the club, this woman is more than likely going to support offing that child. That's something that I really need to take into consideration if I'm going to date this woman. She says, I voted for Kamala. She's black, even though she's not black. but I'm going to believe in television, so I have to think about that too as well. This woman's mind is easily programmed by what's on the television screen. That's just what it is. That's what politics does, okay? On the opposite end, let's say that somebody that you're interested in is going to vote for Donald Trump, or they did vote for Donald Trump. Then you have to know that, hey, this person here voted for Donald Trump, and all that comes with Donald Trump. That was some mean tweets, okay? Those tweets said some mean stuff, and maybe I don't want to have my feelings hurt by some mean stuff that's going on online, especially if they're tweets. Other than that, you have to look at things like, hey, this person's probably gonna be carrying that thing, you know, pulling that thing. Like you remember Wishing Bone from back in the day from Bone Thugs and Harmony? You gotta be down there, bang bang. No, okay, whatever. We gotta get pat, you know. Anyway, he or she is probably gonna be in support of carrying. He or she is probably gonna be in support of freedom of speech to a great degree. That means, hey, I want to be able to say whatever I want to say whenever I want to say it. And that's going to play a role in the communication that you two have. So politics and relationships matter. Okay. Now, then you think about other issues, big issues. Another big issue from this particular last term was safety. Safety as far as the borders, safety as far as who do you let in and out of the country, those things. Now, on the one hand, somebody would say, hey, well, you know, let anybody come in. It's a free country. Just let them be. On the other end, the person who voted for Trump is probably going to say something like, no, protect our home, protect what we have, protect our nation. You lock your doors at night, right? Well, we should lock down the country too as well. Those are going to be clashing, conflicting things that you need to know about when you're talking about going into a relationship or being in a relationship with somebody who votes differently than you. And I'll say this too, and don't get mad at me because, you know, King has to say what the King has to say. I have yet in the past at least 10, maybe 15 years, I've yet to see a straight man vote for the Democratic Party.
Why are you gay?
Let me take a drink to that. Let you pause, let you think about what I just said. Caruso.com. You can use our promo code Henry and Victoria. Save you some money off of that. That's nice, isn't it? Now, I have yet to see in the past 10 years for sure, but maybe 15 years, a straight man vote Democrat. Yet to see it. It is just not happening. That particular party has skewed and gone away into more of a freedom-like sexuality and support of that. And then you think about all the stuff that they are doing with kids. That is not something that I made up. That is something that you can look at yourself as far as facts, what they putting in school systems for children, as far as the X-rated stuff that they're bringing. They say, hey, we should be free to give kids, 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds, give them this material, tell them that they can engage in sexuality, but not only that, they can engage in sexuality with anybody and everybody that they want. That is the freedom that we enjoy. Now, obviously, somebody who voted for Trump is going to say, nah, that is not the case. Protect our children. Why are you telling them about sexual exploits and all of these things? I have a serious problem with that. And why aren't you guys addressing some of these serious issues? Don't tell me that you can ban TikTok, but you didn't ban child porn. That's happening all of the time. Okay, so those are serious issues that brought up into the relationship when you get into politics. Those are things that you have to dive into. Now, let me say this as well, because a lot of times people vote for something or vote for a particular party just because they are ignorant of the background and ignorant of the things that the party actually represents. That is a real thing too. So somebody that you may have interest in that may be voting for a particular party just may not be there yet as far as their knowledge on why they're doing it. They're doing it because television said it. They're doing it because they had Beyonce twerking on the stage or Megan Thee Stallion or whatever. They're doing it because they had Hulk Hogan ripping a shirt off and they said, hey, Trump supports guns, so I'm voting because I like guns. And that's all that they see. That's all that they know. So there are a bunch of variations that come along with that. So you have to be very, very careful about the person that you're interested in. You need to at least have the conversation, dive into it, say, why do you believe that you should vote for this person? Why do you believe that this is the right way to see things? And then you have to think about the future. Future is going to be crucial to it, crucial to it. Are you voting for this and you're hardwired to vote for this and you're going to vote for this in the future? Or on the opposite end, are you voting for this particular term just because you see something that you like or dislike? And, that can be changed in the future. All those things are tough conversations, but conversations that you should have when you're talking about building a relationship, especially if you're trying to go into marriage, okay? Now, what if the person that you're with, you guys are married? Now that's a whole different thing. That's a different ball game because obviously you just can't get up and just leave the marriage.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
You shouldn't anyway. Hopefully you talked about this stuff before marriage, but a lot of times people do not. So what happens when my spouse is against the vote that I'm for? Whew. Those are some long conversations, okay? This is where you sit down at the table, you bring out paper, and you jot down, this is why I want to vote for this particular party. This is why I want to vote for this party. Boom, 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 boom. You line it up. You line it up for yourselves. You line it up for the marriage. You line it up for the children. Now, it's going to be very difficult to say that I love children and I want to go forward with children, but I'm also okay with children. That's going to be tough. But then you have to explain, hey, I support the Second Amendment. I protect it. Okay, well, that's dangerous. Is it dangerous or is it protective? All those things, you have to come together as a couple and talk about those things in details. And that may not be just one conversation. That may be several conversations that you can have. It can destroy your marriage if you let it. The thing that you don't want to happen is that you guys stop communicating, stop talking. Don't stop talking, even if you disagree. And then sometimes you have to also set up time frames for that. Hey, let's do 30 minutes of discussion for this on Tuesday night. And, think about what you want to bring to the table. I'll think about what I want to bring, and we can kind of dialogue about that. Another key is that you don't jump over each other in the conversation. So what I suggest for you, I'm giving you guys the game, man. So you take something like a key, pull one of the keys off your key rings, okay? And only the person that's holding the key can speak. Once they're done, they put the key down, the other person grabs the key. Only that person can speak, and they can respond afterward. But if this thing can get real ugly real fast, it'll be talking over each other. What about this? Then emotions come, and the next thing you know, she jumps up, punches you in the face, and kicks you out.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
I'm sorry. Hopefully not. That's only if you voted for the Democrat. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I'm going to cut that out. Maybe not. Okay. Anyway, that is what I have for you guys today. Just real short, real brief. I wanted you guys to think about that when you're talking about politics in your future relationships, in current relationships, or even in your marriage. That is a big one, man. So make sure that you guys have that conversation. I want to do it on Inauguration Day so that you guys have something to talk about during this particular time. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us, Henry and Victoria. Much love to all of you. Man.